I'm on a journey to find the best 3D prints. I've spent the last week searching, printing, and assembling some of the best Christmas 3D prints that I could find, and I am so excited to share them with you. I found something for everyone. Starting with Thanksgiving, we've got some adorable turkey-themed 3D prints. And then for Christmas, we've got Santa, the Grinch, and Christmas trees galore. There's so many things you're not gonna wanna miss this one. Let's jump right into the computer and see what models I was able to find. All right, let's find some fun models. I'm expecting to find quite a few Christmas models. It's early November, but designers and printers like to start early, and I am not mad about that. I love Christmas, so if I get a couple good Christmas videos full of Christmas prints, I will not be upset about that. So we're on Maker World. Let's see what we can find. The Grinch bowl, that would be fun. Max Design, I love their things. 3 different sizes it looks like. Some tea lights, that might be fun. Super cute. I love this style of Christmas tree. We'll collect it. The turkey bowl. This is awesome. I hope that prints well. Oh my goodness. A Santa sleeve for soap. From Bath & Body Works. That is the soap that we use. I'm gonna collect it. The knitted turkey is so cute. This is super fun. Okay, I've searched far and wide on Maker World. I feel like I could do one of these every single week. Let's head to things and see what we can find over here. The floppy turkey leg! Oh my goodness. We found some good models on things. I'm gonna check through the people I follow on Patreon and see what they've got cooking up as well. That's pretty cute. And 3D Gob is gonna have some elves and a Santa's Workshop playset. Okay, looks like some fun stuff coming on Patreon as well. So you might see some of their stuff if it's released before I get finished printing for the video. It may just be things, maybe Maker World. Could be Colts too, who knows. But we've got some fun models that we found. Now it's time to get printing. I have finally finished printing. There's still a couple more prints on the printers that I need to go grab, but then we'll be ready for assembly. It's a whole turkey! Oh my goodness. The turkey's finished. That's all we had left printing. Let's assemble some prints. Simple assembly for the trees. I just had to remove a couple brims on the bottom. Super easy assembly for this as well. It printed in 2 parts. I just had to slide the top onto the base. The turkey is done! Supports were removed. We just have one little blemish on the bottom, but when it's sitting flat on the table, you can't even tell. Okay, let's remove the supports from Grinch next. He's free! No more supports for the Grinch. Nice. Ah, the little turkey leg. All right. After a quick gluing, the nutcrackers are done. Sweet. Supports are taken off the turkey. Turkey has been glued. We're just waiting on it to dry. So the last 2 things that I have to assemble are the Lego Christmas tree, which I don't know if it needs glue or anything. I haven't looked into that too much. and the Santa Claus that printed in so many parts. The Santa has tons of supports, so we'll start with that because that's going to be the bulk of our work. Alright, Santa is now done after almost 30 minutes, and I don't know. I'll save my thoughts for the final reveal, but we got Santa assembled. I've still got a lot of tiny pieces that go on this, maybe some ornaments or things, but for the assembly, we're pretty much done. Let's jump to the reveal. First up, we'll start with Thanksgiving prints because it's only a couple weeks away and you guys need to get to printing. We'll start out with something small, a little drumstick fidget. A little pixel drumstick fidget. This is adorable. It's a super fast print. It prints in 2 separate pieces, the brown and the white, and you slide them together. I didn't even need glue. They fit perfectly. It's an adorable little fidget print. You can print a plate full and send them to school with your kids. You can set it on your desk and play with it while you're working. I love it. It's super cute. I'm pretty sure this designer has done other things in this style if you're into this pixel style fidget. It's the first one I've ever printed and I love it. The brown I used for this is, I think, an Elegoo darker brown. It was one of their refill rolls and I just threw it on a bamboo spool and it worked amazing. Super cheap and a really nice dark brown if you're looking for one. But yeah, the pixel drumstick. Keeping with the drumstick turkey leg theme, we've got the Bearded Printers floppy drumsticks. Look how floppy these are. He has 2 different versions. This one has a bite taken out of it, and then the non-bite version as well, equally as floppy and so much fun. Anytime the Bearded Printer releases a new floppy, I am one of the first to get these on the printers. I love them. I print every single one of them. And the floppy drumstick, of course, had to be included in this video. Again, I used the Elegoo dark brown, and I believe this tan is Polymaker's Army Beige. And I think it's the perfect look for this turkey leg. Next up, keeping with the turkey theme, we've got a knit turkey. I printed this one at 200%. The 100% version seems just a little bit small. I like to print things larger if I have the chance. It still fit on a normal P1 size build plate. I would be curious to see what this is like maxed all the way out, printed on like an H2 or something, but this is as big as I went, 200%. This prints in parts, so I had to scale all of these other items as well, but after printing and a little glue, they all fit together perfectly, and I think this is an adorable little knit turkey. A perfect Thanksgiving decoration piece for any shelf or desk or something. There were some supports to remove, but they were pretty easy. They popped off with minimal force and left very little scarring. And the cool thing about the knit texture is you can't see the scarring anyways if there was any. So really like this. It's super cute. Very nice work to the designer of this one. This brown is another Elegoo brown. It is not a refill roll, but it is still very cheap. And I really liked this shade of brown as well. The last turkey piece that I printed is this amazing turkey candy or wine bottle holder. It is a single color print. The designer does say in their notes that you can color these bones with some paint or an acrylic marker or something, but I just decided to leave it as a single color print. It does have supports. It printed fine. The only issue I had was on the bottom. You can see a bit of break down here. This side printed just fine. I don't know what happened here, but I'm not super worried about it because you can't see it. It's on the bottom. It's going to sit on a table, and the candy hole is the main feature anyways. It's still super cute, and I love it. Minimal supports. They removed easily. Also printed in this same Elegoo brown. So those are the 2 browns that I used. We've got the darker version and the more caramel version over here, and I like them both. And that's it for the Thanksgiving prints. Now we move into Christmas. To start out, we've got some super cool nutcrackers. The designer created two different versions. You've got this one that has a little bit of fuzzy skin on it, and then this one with more of a ribbed texture. These printed in a few different parts, and you do need to glue them together, but they go together super well, and I had no issues with them. The ribbed version, I think, prints in about 5 hours, and the textured version prints in about 2.5 hours. So both of them, not very long. They came out nice. This green is Polymaker Matte Muted Green, and this red maroon color is Overture's PLA Pro Wine, and I really like this. It usually gives more of a matte texture, but this one almost gives off a bit of a glossy texture. I still like it, and I think these complement each other very nicely. I really like these little nutcrackers. Next up, we've got a super fun Grinch bowl. I picked this Grinch bowl over the designer's other options because it has fewer color changes than the other options out there. So you can see that it goes from red to white to green to white, and I like to minimize the amount of color changes just to reduce waste and possible mess ups with the AMS. There still are some color changes here because this red here in the foot extends into this white area, but I didn't have any issues, printing went fine. There are a few supports, but I didn't have really any scarring. I think it all turned out very nice, and I'm very happy with my Grinch bowl. I would be curious to see this printed on an H2 to see a larger bowl, but this one printed on a P1 and printed just fine. I really like it. I'm excited to set it out and display it with a little bit of candy inside. I know with the little hands running around my house, the candy in this bowl will not last long. I printed this one in Sunlu's lime green, fluorescent lime green, and this red is Polymaker's matte lava red. It's one of my favorite reds by Polymaker, and I think this matches the Grinch's colors very nicely. The Grinch bowl. Next, we've got a simple two-tiered stand to show off other Christmas decorations. I would like to see this scaled up a little bit larger because most of the decorations that I would print and display on this would almost be bigger than the stand. When you open the files, these two are positioned on a plate together, and so I just printed it as the plate is set up. If I printed it again, I would like to scale this as big, this one, I would like to scale the bottom piece as big as a P1 bed size could go. Maybe even print these on the H2 to get it a bit larger and put some larger decorations on it. The concept is cool. I really like this. It's printed in two separate parts, and this top piece slides on super easy, no glue needed, and it fills decently strong. This is an item I printed in last year's Christmas video, and I think the idea is to print something like that and set it on to display as well, which actually looks like the perfect size for a plate like this, so maybe this size works out nicely for your decorations. Me personally, if I print it again, I'm going to print it a bit larger and get a bit larger decorations for the plate as well, but I love the design. This is printed in Polymaker's Matte Muted Green, and I think it turned out very nice. I really like this simple decoration stand. Next up, we've got a couple Santa-themed designs. The first one I really like. It's a Santa-themed soap dispenser cover, I guess. It's designed to go on the Bath & Body Works disposable bottles, and it slides in perfectly. I think this is an awesome decoration for your bathroom. It's hard for me to think of decorations for your bathroom, but we now can add Santa Claus and add some Christmas cheer to the bathroom. I love it. The designer also has some other options, other variants if the Santa one is not speaking to you, but just know that they're designed well. They print in parts for the most part. There are some color changes on this outer piece, but they could add pauses, and it is single color printer capable. I'm very fond of this. I really like it, and it will be going in my own personal bathroom, and I will also be printing one for the shop as well. This is nice. I like it a lot. The next Santa piece had its challenges. It's like a Santa figurine lawn gnome type thing, I guess. It prints in parts, and so there are no actual color changes. There's no need for a multicolor printer. But there are so many supports on this, you might as well have the color changes because of the waste that was involved. It came out decent. The eyes scare me a touch, but besides that, it is the vibe I was wanting. I wanted a little Santa character figurine that you could build and put together, and if that's what you're after, this does that. In the end, we got it done. It looks like Santa. I'll sit it on my shelf, but there are some imperfections. You can see here on the bottom, a very exposed part of the design just had so many supports used that it didn't turn out amazing. Most of the time when you do print in parts kits or build character builds, they have designed them in ways that don't need a ton of supports. That way everything is smooth and the edges are nice and it gives a very clean finished look. I had to use a lot of glue, usually with just plain PLA and non-support edges. I use 3D glue, but because most of these edges where the supports were very rough, the 3D glue couldn't adhere. The parts really didn't even touch. So I had to use a lot of CA glue with activator and a lot just to get these to hold. And it still was not perfect, but overall I'm glad that I have it now that it's completely done and I can display it on my shelf, and my son Henry thinks it's pretty cute. Would I print it again? No, probably not. I would pick another print in parts design, but we got it done. We have our Santa Claus, even if his eyes are a bit creepy. If you don't mind a ton of support removal, Santa could be the best print for you, but if you don't love a lot of support removals, maybe steer clear of Santa, because every piece except for the boots has supports that you need to remove, and not just a few of them. But overall, Santa's cute, and he'll probably be on my shelf until we get through the end of the Christmas season. But Santa Claus, it was fun, it was an experience, and now we've got a little Santa. I'm gonna call him a lawn gnome because that is what he reminds me of, the Santa Claus. That's all the Santa themed items that we have. The last 3 things that we've got are all Christmas tree themed. First up, we've got these tea lights that give a woven texture so the light can shine through. The designer has 3 different size options. This is the small, this is the medium, and I did not print the large because I figured the small and the medium are good enough to show you guys a sizing comparison. The large I would assume is actually pretty large though, because these are still pretty large. When you stick a tea light inside, it does look pretty cool. It illuminates pretty nice, and overall I really like the design of this. I like the alternating colors. It does require an AMS because the colors in this zone are not completely flat, so there are a few different color changes, but they do provide a single color option as well that does not have the different colors. But I like this because it gave like a frosted snow tip look. I thought it was pretty cool. I used a Polymaker Silk White, and this is eSun's Pine Green. I really liked both of them, and this design is super, super cool. The next Christmas tree we've got is this one. That's done with a really cool style where the nozzle just kind of droops the filament out and it makes it look like it actually has real pine needles on it. It gives a really cool effect to the Christmas tree and makes it actually look like a real Christmas tree. I used this emerald green, this translucent by Atomic Filament for this tree, and I think it turned out really nice. I think next to some Christmas lights or next to some tea lights or something, it would give a really cool look with this translucent filament. I had no issues with printing. I don't remember exactly how long it took, maybe 5 to 8 hours, something in that range, but no issues. It printed fine, has a really good base on the bottom, so no bed adhesion issues. I really like it. A super cute little Christmas tree. And the last Christmas tree design, and the last design from the video, my favorite from the whole video, we've got this amazing Lego style Christmas tree. and it looks more complex than it really is. They designed these pieces to have the typical Lego bumps, and so you think that it's going to be like 1,000 pieces of Legos to put together for this, but actually each layer is just one separate print, and then you put them all on top of this brown base that you can see down here at the bottom. They even gave us some of these cute little Christmas balls that you can snap onto the tree. You can print lots of different colors if you wanted to and make your Christmas tree have tons of little ornaments on it. There is a bit of glue that's required, but it's just this star on the top. If you want the whole thing to be contained, you could glue this final piece on top. But I kind of like the idea that I could take them off and interchange them if I wanted to. And then you glue this red piece to the brown piece at the bottom as like a tree skirt. So I really like this. I like the Lego look. My son's super into Legos, so I think he's gonna think it's really cool to have like a Lego themed Christmas tree. I'll probably let him put this one in his room or something. They also designed some fun little presents that you can display underneath the Christmas tree as well. And everything in this entire project prints in parts. Even the presents, even though they look like they are two colors, they actually have been glued together. So the inner cross is one print, and then each of the gold pieces on the outside you glued to create the actual present. So everything printed in parts, it printed easily. I had a lot of fun with this Lego Christmas tree, and I'm very happy that I printed it. So I highly recommend this one. At least for this first Christmas prints video, that's what we've got. I found 10 awesome items for you guys, and I hope you liked them. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna print any of them, what you liked. Were there any filament colors that you liked and hadn't seen before? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. I've got one more of these coming out in December. It'll be my last round of Christmas prints because I know that you guys are going to be designing between now and the middle of December whenever I hope to get that one released. So get your designs up. Hopefully I can find them, and who knows, maybe you will be featured in the next Christmas prints video. But that's all we've got for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my Patreon members for all of the support. I literally could do none of this without you guys. You're awesome. That's all we've got. See you guys in the next video.